Hey, Trent. Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with me today and just discuss this incredible project that we worked on together so successfully over the last several months or even over a year now. And I just wanted to start off by talking about the community that is Pelican Bay, often known as the crown jewel of Naples. So tell me a little bit about Pelican Bay.
Yeah, Pelican Bay is these magical 3 square miles right on the Gulf. And what makes it unique is its scale. So we've got 90 neighborhood associations. That turns into 6,500 doors. That's a mix of single family homes, mid-rise, and high-rise condominiums. From a commercial perspective, we've got 3 luxury hotels, one of Naples' best performing arts center, and a leading retail facility with waterside shops.
Wow. It's amazing to think about one single master association with 90 sub-associations. Where I live, I thought it was amazing that we had 2,600 units and 38 sub-associations, but this is even larger. I happen to be a board member and a committee member in my community as well, so I understand the complexities and challenges of that. What roles do you play here at Pelican Bay?
I've previously served on the board of directors at Pelican Bay, the Master Association. I currently chair the Media Committee. And on our Media Committee, we've assembled some great industry experts with background in telecom, within content. We've got a former HBO executive. It's really kind of the magic of our neighborhood. You ask somebody for help on a given topic, and inevitably there's executives who used to operationally serve in those industries.
Wow, so you're on the master board, you're on the master committee, and you served on the board of your sub-association committee as well.
Exactly, and I'm the president of my local neighborhood association, so I get to hear it, if you will, at the scale of 140 residents, at the scale of 6,500 residents,
Right.
and working with a great committee of 5 other colleagues that helped lead us through this choice in our new bulk contract agreement.
That's tremendous. And when you think about how much we both get paid for those roles, it's just wonderful.
I know, right? You get an extra bottle of water, you get 2 cups of coffee rather than 1.
Yes, yes.
Compensation is amazing.
Yes, yes. So when it came to this project, this bulk telecommunications project at Pelican Bay, tell me a little bit about the committee and your decision on how to choose a consultant. We were so thrilled and thankful that you chose the M Consulting Group to be your partner. How did that process go for you guys?
Exactly. So the important thing was we were starting 18 months in advance of our current bulk contract expiring. Those first 6 months, we were looking for experts, consultants, advisors to help us along the way. The value that we saw of working with a consultant is that they could help us before, during, and after the project. We really wanted to ensure that as much as we might know an industry like it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, this industry changes every single year. And so we wanted to make sure that we had the latest technical advice. We knew that due to the scale of our neighborhood, we were going to need a lot of construction advice, working with whoever we selected as our provider.
Mhm.
And then on the back end, as things came up, we always wanted to know that we would have that outside expert advice for internet, television, as well as telephone services.
Yeah, I agree. When I think about the budget in my own community, the highest line item in that budget is going to be this bulk communications contract. And so it's always good to have outside subject matter expertise to assist. And we're very proud at the M Consulting Group that each member has over 30 years experience in telecommunications. We're not consultants, we're telecommunications experts and industry knowledgeable people that then became consultants. And I will tell you that when we were looking to become partners with Pelican Bay, it was a daunting task for us to even think about because of the sheer size of your community. And it really worked out well how effective you managed that committee and how we worked together to go through the process to evaluate all the proposals from the various providers and then select the one that would provide the right partnership to you. And As we've discussed, we went through many of the local providers, and you guys chose Hotwire as your partner. Can you just say a couple of words about why it is that you chose Hotwire?
Exactly. So the driver for Pelican Bay to choose Hotwire was the level of service and the service level agreements that Hotwire was willing to commit to. We live in a community that, as much as we have 6,500 doors, half of our residents are over the age of 72. So as much as this was going to be the latest and greatest cutting edge technology, we wanted to make sure it was easy to use. And as somebody had an educational need or a technical support need, Hotwire was the vendor that was most willing to say, we know the resident needs help. Sometimes things just can't be accomplished over the phone with a call center. You need to roll a truck and get somebody in front of it, seeing it and making it happen. And that's what we got from Hotwire. We got cutting edge technology, but more importantly, leading edge customer service.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, as you know, at the M Consulting Group, we've done bulk agreements with all of the providers in the Florida market. And when you selected Hotwire, they were I was as worried for them as I was when you selected us. It's such a daunting task to have a community like Pelican Bay. And so as we went through the process, I was super impressed with Hotwire's ability to do contract negotiation with you and me and their attorneys, and got that done. And then the real challenge in my mind came into that launch process. I was very concerned about how that would get done. And I would say that from my experience managing and working with construction divisions and installation divisions of these providers, I was really happy to see how Hotwire accomplished such a huge project in, I think it was 10 months, was it not?
9 months, believe it or not.
9 months.
Right?
9 months.
So 6,500 doors in 9 months.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Pete Ferreira at Hotwire, who leads their construction team, kudos and huge thanks. He pulled off a miracle for that many doors in that amount of time. But he was doing it with professionals that were dedicated to making sure it was done right the first time, such that there wasn't a lot of callbacks and there wasn't a lot of punch list kind of items. And the other thing that made it work, it's the frequency of communication and it's the transparency of communication, that we all trusted each other. We all were going to rely on each other. And we knew that we had a lot of people, 6,500 plus residences, almost double that number. So 13,000 plus people that needed to be happy at the end of this process. And it's through that cooperation, that frequency of communication, that transparency that made before, during, and after go smoothly.
Yeah. I mean, in the background that you and the committee didn't see was that we had a weekly call with the entire Hotwire team, the construction folks that you mentioned under Pete Ferreira, all of the launch team that is under Chuck Stauffer. And every week we got on a call. We have on the staff here at the M Consulting Group, a project management professional certified individual. We had the lists of every person, their address, what they wanted for their package, if it was above the bulk package, and of course what sub-association they lived in. And we kind of did a little divide and conquer, taking the community and putting it into several phases, by association, working with the sub-association boards. So it really was an amazing project and a huge success for Hotwire and for the committee and for us as the M Consulting Group.
Well, and when you've got 90 associations, you want to make sure that there's kind of a primary point of contact at that association. So each of the 90 neighborhood associations, they appointed a media captain. And it was just, sometimes it was their property manager. Other times it was a tech savvy resident that had some experience in the space. But the launch process was a lot smoother because there was kind of that single point of contact in each of the individual neighborhoods. That's right. Coupled with Hotwire's it's amazing the amount of literature and training and patience and explanation that they went through in these town hall meetings that happened for 3 months every single Thursday at our community center, where residents could come learn what's available, get all their questions answered, and sign up for services to then, as we started into installation, make sure that we knew ahead of time what we were installing, not on the fly that day.
I mean, I think you said it earlier that the most important thing in this process is communications. You have to communicate, and Hotwire does a great job of that. It makes me think of when I was a young 20-something-year-old working in downtown Manhattan, working for New York Tel. My first boss said to me, "You need to understand, if you work here, communications is our business, it's not our policy."
That's right.
So that became an issue. And I would say at the M Consulting Group at Hotwire, we believe in over communicating, and I know that's you appreciate that in your committee and your board as well. And so I think, in addition to the excellent work and fiber optic capabilities, et cetera, it's that communications that all three parties had between Pelican Bay, M Consulting Group, and Hotwire that really drove the success. So.
Well, and what was great about the communication, we might not have always liked what somebody had to say, but we could trust that it was the truth. Like, there was just no hiding of issues. There was no covering up of concerns.
Mm-hmm.
It's that frequency and that transparency that built the trust day by day, week by week, that ultimately led to the successful deployment of Hotwire in 6,500 residences.
Yes. Well, Trent, I can't say enough how much I loved working on this project with you specifically, but with the entire team at Pelican Bay, and to have this little recap discussion, I'm so appreciative of that. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, Frank.
Thanks.
M Group has done a great job for our neighborhood. Your people are great. Your knowledge is great. Your experience and expertise is clear. And the magic of the M Consulting Group, you can help before the project, you can help during the project, and you're there after the project.
That's right.
To make sure things go right.
Thank you.